My teen asked for $1,000 to push his girlfriend to end the pregnancy. I refused and snapped. I grew up scared of a man who yelled and hit, and I swore my kids would never live like that. My son used to be kind and bright. He would run to me after school and talk about little things like the frog he found or the comic he drew. As he got older, he changed. He skipped classes, lied about homework, and slipped out at night. I told myself it was normal teen stuff and tried to stay calm. I set rules but softened them when he pushed. I kept thinking patience would bring him back. I didn't want to turn into the man who raised me. Yesterday, he asked me for more than $1,000. He said his girlfriend was pregnant. He wanted the money for an abortion. I told him that much wasn't needed. He said the extra was to pay her to change her mind because she didn't want to end the pregnancy. He wanted me to hand over cash to push her into a choice she clearly refused. I said no. I told him it was her body and her decision, and that money wasn't the answer. He shouted that I didn't care about him. I raised my voice too. We yelled in the hall until a door slammed. The dog barked and a picture on the wall rattled. A boy his age has lived with us most of his life. He's family. I never adopted him, but I see him as my second son. He heard the fight and told me things I didn't know. At school, my son wasn't just acting out. He targeted kids who had it hard. He mocked classmates who were different or who had less. He even went after the boy in our home. He threw his past in his face. Hearing that made my hands shake. I had tried so hard to be gentle that I let my own son hurt people under my roof, and I looked away. I went to my son's room and shut the door behind me. I asked for the truth and for a real apology. He leaned back, stared at me, and smirked. He said it was all jokes. He owned every word. Then he said my second son asked for what happened to him before he came to us. The words were like a match on dry grass. I snapped. I hit my son. As soon as I did it, my chest went cold. He looked at me with the same fear I knew as a kid. I hit him again before my brain caught up with my hand. My wife and daughters were in the doorway. My son's lip was bleeding. I reached forward with a towel and he flinched hard. I heard my wife say my name once, low and flat. I stepped back like the floor was tilting. I told him I was done and left the room shaking. That night I sat with my second son and told him about my childhood. I told him I was sorry that I failed to protect him and that I became what I promised I'd never be. He put his hand on the table and told me he still wanted me to be his dad. The next day I called my ex, my son's mother. We don't agree on much, but she loves him. She talked to him and got him to hear me. My son said he needed to make things right. He apologized to the boy in our house, to his girlfriend, and to kids at school. He asked her parents to meet with us so we could plan. We met at their kitchen table and agreed to split care at their home and ours. When the baby was born, I held my granddaughter and felt a door open. My son started to show up as a dad. He changed diapers without being asked. He went to 2 therapy sessions a week, one with me and one alone. We had simple rules in the house and he followed them. Trust grew in inches. We weren't perfect, but we were steady. I let myself breathe. 2 days ago, the boys got into a fight over something small, a charger or a joke that went too far. Voices rose in the kitchen. I walked in and told them to stop. The younger one swung first, fast and messy. My older son put up his hands and took the hits. He said, "I'm not fighting you," and tried to back away. All I saw was my stepfather's hand and a scared kid bracing for it. My heart pounded like a drum in my ears. I stepped between them and broke our promise. I hit my son again. He froze. I should have stopped, but I didn't. I grabbed his shoulders and kept going like the first time had wiped out my sense. He stumbled, caught the side table, and fell. The vase on it shattered. His cheek was cut and there was glass on the floor. This time he cried and begged me not to hurt him. The sound cut through everything. I called for an ambulance and pressed a towel to his face. I told him I'd tell the truth and take what came because he deserved to feel safe. He nodded but said nothing. At the hospital they asked what happened. Before I could speak, he said it was an accident. He did that to protect me, the way I used to protect the man who hurt me. I sat in a chair by the door and felt sick. Yesterday, while I was at work, my wife texted me a screenshot. It was from my son. He said he packed his things and moved in with my stepfather. I stared at the words and couldn't feel my hands. I called, but it went to voicemail. I walked outside, sat on the steps, and tried to breathe. Now my son is choosing my stepfather over me. Was I wrong for it?